Hello and welcome to this year's Carnival catch-up of what Vagabonds Carnival Club has been up to prior to the Carnival on the 4th of November 2023.
Last year our cart looked like this, with our celebration of Jungle Maya. My nephew Lenny even made a replica for me.
The year was kicked off before last year's Carnival ended, with a meeting to discuss this year's theme. The idea is always top secret until the 2 weeks of Carnival concerts in October. And I can finally tell you we are doing Egyptians.
Carnival Concerts is a friendly rivalry competition between all of the Bridgewater clubs. Each club puts on an 8-minute performance and rehearse tirelessly, hoping that they will win top spot. This year, Vagabonds came joint 5th with Marketeers, but we'd like to say a big congratulations to winners, Ramblers.
Just after Christmas, we hold the AGM, which unfortunately is nothing like the Young Farmers ones. It lasts for hours, but it's important to discuss the ups and downs of the previous year, how we are going to improve, and also to vote in and appoint members into officers' positions, like captain, chairman, secretary, treasurer, stage captain, cart captain, and the like. It's also a time when we can welcome new members into the club. If you watched last year's video, you'll remember that we had problems with the clutch. We have a H-Reg full cargo, and last year we had to nurse it through the carnival. It needed some attention before this year, so Dad and Barry took it out to have a look at it. They discovered that it needed a new clutch master cylinder, and whilst doing that they did the clutch slave cylinder as well. And funny enough, none of the truck parts stockists sell them anymore. It was the same time of year that I was invited out to Norway by Scania for their winter experience. I knew Dougie Rankin from Truck and Driver magazine was going to be there, and I know he has a lot of contacts. So I bended his ear, and after he laughed at me, he gave me a good contact in the know. He gave me a number for a guy called Roger Hastings that apparently is so old school he still uses a Nokia 3310. Dad rang him and they had a good chat, although he unfortunately couldn't help us. But he did give Dad a number for a guy called Air Brake Dave. It turned out that Air Brake Dave is an expert on the subject, and he suggested that Dad sent it up to him to be sorted, as he has a special brake fluid from America that repels moisture, which is good for a vehicle that is stood up for a long time like ours. So Dad packaged it up and took it to a courier and said, "Be cool with the clutch." I'm pleased to say that it came back perfectly and it's been put back into the tub. To build a carnival car, it costs quite a bit of money, even when we tried to reuse everything that we possibly can. There are no grants available, so everything has to be fundraised by the club members. We have our own catering company and bar and can cater anything from small buffets to 3-course meals for large numbers, which we all get involved with, old and new. We also steward for events like Glastonbury Festival, cricket matches and wassailing. If you're not sure what wassailing is, it's something that happens a lot in the southwest at the beginning of the year. People will visit cider orchards for the ancient tradition of blessing the trees and to ward off bad spirits in hope for a good harvest. Revellers will sing songs, bang pots and pans together, and then put toast in the tree and shoot it. Now that I'm making money from YouTube, all my money after tax will go to the club from the carnival videos. So please watch these videos intently, because this means the world to me and my friends. The next job that we needed to do on the tug was take the radiator out and get it pressure tested.
So today I'm down at the carnival shed, and what we're doing today is removing the radiator, and it will be pressure tested to see if it needs any preventative maintenance. We'll have to take the seat out to do this. As you can see, the tug is stripped now. This is what's hidden behind all the boxing in and the lights. When this full cargo was modified to make it into a carnival truck, the radiator was put behind the driver's seat. And to get the radiator out, the seat must come out. And the heated seat needs to be unplugged before we can take it out. The seat is pretty easy to come out, and I'm down here today with my dad and my sister. My dad is a retired HGV mechanic, and my sister also works as a HGV mechanic. We need to snip some cable ties to get some wires out of the way so that they are not disturbed when we take the radiator out. As you can see, there is quite a lot of dust that is accumulated in the core of the radiator. Dad works on separating the fan from the back of the radiator, and Jodie is concentrating on unscrewing some bolts at the front. Before we lift it out, we must also drain down the radiator, which we can do from underneath and catch it in a tray below the tug. This will not be reused, and once it's pressure tested, we will replace it with new coolant. Jodie is making sure that everything is unattached from the radiator so that it will lift out easily, and keeping all the bits she takes out together.
Where'd it go?
I didn't hear nothing drop.
I didn't hear it drop, neither. It's all worn out, see, Joe. It won't just stay on there like your new stuff. That's earned thousands of pounds.
Oh, I've done it again.
Doing? It's jammed. It's going a bit easier this side, isn't it? I should pick the easy side.
Just a few more pipes and bits to disconnect, and then we can have a go at taking the radiator out. We know that the only way we're going to get it out is to lift it up and over. So myself and Dad lift from the top, and my sister lifts from the bottom. We knew that there was possibly a little bit of water left in the radiator, so there was a possibility that one of us might get a little bit wet.
What was that?
Water.
I'm alright.
You knew that, didn't you?
Well, I said there'd be a bit more come out.
At least it was my sister and not me. Once we get it up onto the steelwork, we need to get it down off the other side. I've seen where the water spurted out just now, so I let Jodie stand on that side. Then me and Jodes lift it round the front to a bigger space so we can have a proper look at it. Then we cut the cable ties at the front to take the protective grill off. We can see that some of the bits that Dad's pointing at are rotting away, although he does say that he has seen worse in the past. And there we go, one radiator out, ready for pressure testing.
Once it was pressure tested, it was advised that we needed a new core. So the core was replaced and the radiator was put back in. We also knew that the generator that sits on the back of the trailer needed to be changed. There were a few options and the decision changed a couple of times. But eventually a decision was reached and the generator now sits sideways on the back of the trailer.
It's now 2 weeks until Bridgewater Carnival and everything is being made up, ready to go onto the cart.
So this is Chrissy, our club captain for this year. Did you regret putting your name forward for club captain?
No, not really. It's just this time of year is really busy, so it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end.
And how long have you been in Carnival?
Oh, 30 years.
Have you got any worries for this year's Carnival?
Not really. I think everything will be okay. It's just the weather normally, and it's not as warm on there nowadays with the LED bulbs.
And it's 2 weeks to go. Do you reckon we'll get it done?
We always do. Long days, long nights, but we'll get there.
I've just popped down the car and Maddie has my costume for me. And she has been in charge of costumes this year.
Yeah.
Have you found it a bit of a challenge?
Yeah. This is very different with men's and women's, lots of different sizes, and I've never done it before, so yeah, lots of organising, but it's getting there now.
And what do you do in your day job?
I work in a primary school as a teaching assistant, so obviously I do that during the day, and then I sort out costumes in the night.
So Luke does a lot of the woodwork on the cart, and you come down every year for how many years now?
9th year this year.
With Aggie. What club were you with before?
Wheels is before that. When Dad joined, I was 3-year-old. Grew up with that club, and then come over to here.
So did that lead you then into the job that you do now as your day job?
Oh, massively, yeah.
Got your own company doing bespoke
Joinery, yeah. All furniture and stuff like that. Windows, doors. Had a big impact on my life, Carnival, really.
Yeah, as it has with all of us.
Yeah.
Annoyingly. How do you think we're getting on this year compared to other years?
Very well, I think. We're much further ahead than normally. Started earlier myself, which made a big difference, especially having a family life now. 2.5-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
I can't just plough all my time into this.
Thanks, Luke.
So this is Piercy, Lee Pierce. He's
Hiya.
been doing all of our fiberglassing.
For my son.
And yeah. And how long have you been with Aggies?
Anyway, 99. Brazil.
Yeah.
So 99, what's that? How many years is that? Come on, you're brainier than me. 24 years. 24 years in this place.
Yeah.
It's good though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good. And you're one of our more sensible members, aren't you? You've been down it non-stop, haven't you?
5 months.
5 months.
5 months.
It's a good cart, isn't it?
It's going to be special, I think.
Looks good. Yeah. Is it as good as Rio Brazil?
I think so, purely because there's a lot more movement.
Right.
And it's a lot more complicated.
Right.
Because you've got up, down, round and round. Yeah. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Quite
So
excited.
So Josh is our cart captain this year, and this is your second year in the job, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes.
And when you took it on last year, they actually had to change the club rules to let you do it because you were too young.
Yes.
So
It's an older, you need to be 18 to be holding a position, which at the time when I took the position, I believe I was 17.
How do you think this year is going?
It's going well, to be fair. Like, normally we've got a lot more to do at this point, and for what we've achieved this year, we've got loads more motors on there and just a lot more workings that we've had to do. So we're doing all right, considering we've tried to make a big step. It's definitely a step in the right direction, trying to catch up with everyone else. So it's definitely be a good finish on it. A lot more moving parts than what we normally do, so
Yeah.
not too bad.
And what do you do in your day job?
I am a welder by trade, welder fabricator, all sorts of stuff, fitting, pipe welding, all sorts of stuff really.
And how did you get into it? What made you want to become a fabricator? Was it Carnival?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Because you've been coming out since you were tiny.
Yes.
I remember you coming out painting spare bits of wood.
Yeah, stepping in paint pots, that was a good one. Terrible. Just in my blood, innit? You get born into it.
Thanks, Josh.
No worries.
Good luck on Saturday.
Oh, good luck for the rest of the week, I think.
Back in the shed, we have Sean Rendles, our president, wiring some of the older Bianti holders, and expert holderer Kelly Hooper wiring some of the household holders. Life member Brian Lavis is out here painting. There is a big buzz out here at this time of year, with everybody working and socialising, aiming for the goal to get this cart finished. And yet, they also still need time to rehearse. We're really excited to pull this cart out of the shed and do the carnivals, and we hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.